that y'all coming to check me out. But you know what I do every single time. I never turn it to. Let me see if I can do it right here. Yep, I can. Public, go, and go. Because I always forget to do that. What's good, y'all? I appreciate y'all coming to the channel. We 22 seconds deep. Like, subscribe. When you make it over here, let me know where you're from. I appreciate you coming to check us out. We got a nice little show today. We're going to talk about the little craziness going on in the media. You know, that's what we do over here at Black Outrage. This is Black Outrage 26. I'm your host, Hood, and we're going to get off into it. Let me wait for that little sign to let me know that we public, because we got to do that. Let's hit that button real quick. It should be letting me know any second now that we public. But anyway, I appreciate y'all checking us out. You probably have seen some of the stuff going on in the media about what's, the arguments in the black community is constant, is consistent, is over time. And basically, we're going to try to talk about it right here on the channel and get a little conversation going. So right now, we're watching a guy named O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's going to break it all down for us right now. So I appreciate y'all checking us out. Let's get right to it. Boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. The other day, I happened to be just strolling and I saw that Tariq Nasheed posted something about Roland Martin. And of course, Roland Martin, will start off in today's episode positive about him. He's a very intelligent man. There are certain things about Roland Martin that I do like. He is a black-owned business. He's put on a lot of people in this particular black media space world. He said some things that I definitely agree with from time to time. All right? He's not always wrong. But the thing is that, he's really, really loyal to the Democratic machine. All right? And so he was happened to be on a particular show. And as you know, ever since Donald Trump has come into office, a lot of black Democrats have looked at punishing the people in the black community that didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Okay? And so now, with his animosity towards some of the grassroots things, Roland Martin is taking his shots at hashtag FBA. Yeah, y'all silly. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know. If I had to do a roll call, all them simple Simon, yeah. If I had to, don't. Yo, what's good, AV? I appreciate you checking out the channel, but I do not talk about racist white people. So let me get that straightened out for you. I'll say that right to you. I don't talk about racist white people. He was a Caucasian that was completely racist, and him and God got to deal with that. But he will not be talked about on my fucking channel. Let's get back to it. And I'm talking Hulk Hogan. Get me started. I can run the tables on Vicky Dillon, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. Yeah. You gotta do your own research, bro. But as for now, we're talking about my homie. Well, not my homie, but the guy Roland Martin, who basically was dissing the Black Roots media, and that's where I got a problem with that because it should be multiple messages. And if you rocking with the fucking Democrats, and that's who you rock with, or you rocking with the Republicans, whoever the fuck you into, you living your life. There's nobody against that. But when you think that you're gonna diss Black people because of us choosing to rock with who we want to rock with. Obviously, Kamala Harris was a whack person to be trying to run for president at that time. It's so many people they could have chose, but they chose her. And in a lot of our opinion, Black people, especially me, I believe they chose her because she said a statement on the internet saying she wasn't going to do nothing specifically for Black people. At that time, she had killed herself as being an actual candidate, and it was not happening for her. And then when the Democrats heard that statement and it was kind of reverberated a few months, Biden picked her out of the group. Now, why would you pick a person out of the group of people running for president, the one who specifically says she's not going to do nothing specifically for Black people? So let's say she said that, and say he did that. Okay, that's their life. They running whatever they running, a democratic situation. Why the fuck is Roland Martin and all these people mad at us for choosing not to vote for somebody who made a statement like that? Now, you never said that about the Asian community. I'm not going to do nothing specifically for Asians. Or you never said that about any other culture, Hispanic, you name it. But specifically for Black people, you said you wasn't going to do nothing specifically for Black people. So why would we have you as somebody, as a thought that we would choose for?
Obviously, that's a stupid ass idea. So for these people to be caping for somebody like that, who obviously is lying about being black, who obviously lying that she says she's not gonna do nothing for black people, that would be foolish for us to vote for her. So the black groups people are the people that's pushing this message to us. The Tariq Nasheeds, let me see, what's dude name? Umar Johnson. You got Black Authority. You got Professor Black Truth. You got Vicky Dillon. These are all the people who we hate. These are all the people who Roland Martin don't like. And it's like, why? Like, what the fuck? I mean, if you got a message and your message is coming from the Democratic extension and you want us to feel that message and hear that message, why can't it be another message that might be counter that or might have a different perspective? And that's what I think is a stupid. I don't like how he rock a lot of times, but he got a lot of fame. So let's get back to his message. See if we can get any kind of understanding from what he's talking about.
Oh, look at them, they shilling. Look at them, they shilling for the Democrats. They just chill. They chill. Yeah, look at y'all just shit. We gonna have a topic coming up next. They ain't saying nothing how under a Democrat appointee on the FCC changed the damn law when it came to how many folks were getting overcharged and making phone calls in prison. Republicans got in and said, no, we throwing that out. We just gonna discuss it next. I'm sorry, I forgot, Nola. What no tangibles? Yeah, all y'all.
The fact that this lame will get up there and start saying, says this Sherry Shepherd. Yo, the fact that this lane, what up, Vinny? The fact that this lane would get on there and say no tangibles, he's basically trying to diss black people in America, the ones who came from up through slavery, the black people who was us, who came up through the South, who migrated to the North, which is like these northern towns in the 50s and 40s and shit like that. He's dissing us when he say no tangibles, because that's what a lot of black people be saying. Like, if we're going to get reparations, we're asking for tangible reparations, money, cash in our hand, not this college tuition shit, not this, you're going to help you kumbaya into some situation. It's like, no, we want money. Like, 'cause that's what everybody else got in America. They got money. So what are you talking about? It should be something else. It shouldn't be tangibles, or we shouldn't be asking for tangibles. And Roland Martin is like one of them people born in another country. I don't know where he's from, Virgin Islands or some other shit like that. Whatever his lineage from, they already understand that a lot of black people that speaking in the black roots are saying, hey, if you're not from actual America, if you're not a lineage of a person who was a slave, then you shouldn't be asking for reparations. You shouldn't even be dissing black people who are asking for reparations. Even if you from another country and you disagree, that's your choice. You know what I'm saying? But why are you over here stepping on us asking for it when and you came to America to kick it around black people and shit? But now you see us asking for something or delineating, it's making you upset to your stomach, and it's like really stupid. We appreciate you coming to check us out over here. Hood Films. This is Black Outrage 26. We're talking about Roland Martin dissing the grassroots people, the people who actually leave messages and out there about who we should vote for, who we should kick with. It's a big old thing out there in black media. And a lot of us listen to those folks. And obviously, Roland Martin got a big name, big face. People listen to him too. But his moment today is dissing those people in the black groups. So I appreciate y'all checking out the channel. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let's let the message rock out. All right, let's get back to it.
FBA B1 ADOS. Well, are you ready? Of course. Well, cool. Don't forget to bring your own Kavasi.
All right, we got a problem right now.
All that complaining y'all did, welcome to Trump MAGA America. So Rick Nasheed responded with this. So now there's a situation with the guy who was involved with killing Breonna Taylor, one of the cops. He's getting some kind of little slap on the wrist, and now the Democrats are trying to blame Trump. Now, when the Democrats were in office, all of this time, Trump just got in office a few months ago. The Democrats have been in office for the last 4 years. They didn't do nothing to those dudes who harmed Breonna Taylor. Biden's administration didn't really do nothing severe or put no real charges on those guys. They could have done that. They didn't. See, they want to play that hot. They'll sit up here and not do nothing and then wait till Trump get in and be like, see, Trump letting them go. Look at Trump. Nah, we're not letting them play that game no more. The Democrats had every opportunity in the world to do something about those people who harmed Breonna Taylor, and they didn't do anything. So we're just not letting them play that hot potato game. So they're using that now. That's like one of their talking points. And so Roland was on this show. Look, I run these people. I run them around the table. Vicky Dillon, I'll name them. Vicky Dillon, Tyreek Nasheed, Phil Scott, the Black Authority. Now, let me just talk about the case of Breonna Taylor and about the cop that was sentenced, which was Mr. Grant Hankinson. And we talked about that on the channel real quick, man. You know, the white guy got off. Obviously, he can give you more insight on that. I'm gonna let you hear that. But you can see the infighting that's happening around the black community. I appreciate the like button y'all been hitting. I appreciate y'all sharing. What's up with Hickney? I got the Patreon over there inside the thing y'all can check out the comments. But it's just crazy that there's infighting within the blackness because why? It's like everybody dealing with the same shit no matter where you go, gentrification, no matter where you go, messed up jobs, messed up education, messed up everything. But then the messaging and who get to put the message out there is what a lot of the infight is. And it's like, damn, right inside the hood or the black culture. Well, so I guess Roland Martin might not like the hood like that or some other people, but, you know, we'll see what it do, man. Come on, continue to watch. Let's get back to it. What he's saying is, listen, Donald Trump and them was recommending one day in prison. And Brett Hankinson, his bullets, he didn't fire to the house, but he wasn't the person that killed Breonna Taylor. It was Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and there's a guy by the name of Miles Cosgrove. Now, Miles Cosgrove fired the fatal shot that none of Hankinson's shots hit anyone. And so what Roland Martin is saying now is, well, the reason why this is happening is because Trump is in office, and that's because of hashtag FBA and hashtag ADOS. So this is your fault. You guys are silly. And Tariq Nishi pointed out something earlier in the conversation that this case happened under Biden. It was decided under Biden. And yeah, Trump and them could be making a recommendation, but the reality is that the reason why you're talking about this has nothing to do with Breonna Taylor. It has everything to do with the Democratic Party losing faith in its black voters. And that's the larger picture. And I want to talk about that because I want to refer back to two professional black organizations that are losing faith in black America. That's the Professional Black Caucus, that's the National Urban League. Both of So basically, with the immigrants coming to America, a lot of the Democrats felt like that would be a voting block to disallow black people to ask for reparations. Hit the like button, show love. I appreciate it. I'm your boy Hood. All right. So as a lot of black people in the media, in the black media, was saying, do not vote for Democrats under no circumstances. They've been letting us down. They have not been supporting us. Trump was getting ready to be the president. They had already did the whole thing about him being a sexual, convicted him, but he still was running and he was winning. So they were saying, yo, we got to find a black candidate. Obviously, they came up with Kamala Harris. Everybody was like, no. So then when it came down to actually get ready to vote, well, a lot of black people was like, we ain't going for him. But when they took the numbers out, a lot of people did vote for Kamala Harris, women and men. And then a lot of Hispanic people voted for Trump. Obviously, he won. So it kind of backfired on him a little bit because with the Democrats, because the Hispanic humans didn't actually vote for a Democratic person. But that's something that they couldn't control. Because you don't know. The people who came over here, they became able to vote, whoever it was, however long they've been here, they didn't go for Trump. They didn't go for Kamala. The records and information came out to prove all that. So then Trump became the president, and then he switched up, and then the people who voted for him, he didn't care. He was like, get the fuck out of America. So now it's going to be a time again when they're going to be coming back to black people saying, hey, yo, what's up? Hey, what's up? We the Democrats, we had a long relationship. But when it came down to it, y'all was already rocking with the actual immigrants. Who could say that Trump was going to do what he did? But see, now we already had a quest out there saying, yo, we wanted tangibles. We wanted actual, reparations or conversation more than just a study and all this stuff that people have been claiming in the black media. So that's basically but Roland Martin's job is to dismantle that, to stop that from being a conversation or even being something that people should even talk about. So he has to talk about the media, the guys who actually are the people, the girls and guys who are the people who's pushing the message, especially around the time of elections. Vicky Dillard being one, she real smart, Professor Black Truth real smart, Tariq Nasheed real smart, and they do real smart in a politics game, like black people politics and all this shit historically all the way up to now, and they do this constantly. But Roland Martin is getting paid. He has actually, when they run for president and shit, he get a contract with them for media type shit because that's the kind of person he is. He know how to make shit like that happen. But
Some people believe if you're getting money from them to push their message or to push their candidates, then you kind of rocking with what the fuck their candidacy is having, even if their candidacy means no nothing for black people, or just like Kamala Harris, I'm not going to do nothing for black people, and then he's still saying, "Yo, we should vote for her because she black." It's like, what the fuck that mean? So this is why sometimes these messages come out from black people in the black media, and you might not hear about it unless you specifically listen to these specific people. But those people in the black media, they diss the shit out of Roland Martin. And that's really why he's coming back saying something, because if you hear those messages coming from them, they saying, don't listen to somebody like him. He a clown, he a shill, he a Democratic, blah, blah, blah. So that's why he hear these things coming out. Obviously, it's a few of those people, they got big followers. And so now he's trying to swing back at them. So let's get back to it.
These groups have prioritized helping immigrants over helping hashtag FBA, what was known as the original African Americans, however you want to qualify, hashtag ADOS, the freedmen. So the qualifications here have changed in that regard. Okay? No longer is the Professional Black Caucus and the National Urban League, which were started to help Black Americans, are concerned about how Black Americans even feel about ICE. Like, they don't even care about how you feel about ICE. I even heard them talking about it. Well, you know what? Yeah, we know that smart people don't feel like it's not our problem. So that means you want to help immigrants anyway, whether they be Hispanic, African, whatever. You don't care about that. And you want to fight for them versus fighting for the people that you're supposed to be helping, which are hashtag FBA. And so because of that, you have lost in the community. Now you want to turn around and make this small thing. Well, see, that's because y'all stupid. First of all, if you already were losing hope in the Democratic Party, and these grassroots things are picking up, ADOS, FBA, why is it that hashtag FBA, if it's a grassroots thing, has so many searches on YouTube? Why? Because people are tired. That's why. And the reason why people are tired is you guys created that already in the first place. What the Black Democrat leadership should do, it should come to the Black community and say, we are sorry, we apologize. They don't want to do that. They want to double down. You talking about Joseph Biden talking down to blacks. Nobody talks down to blacks more than Black Democrats. And the reason is that they talk to you like you're stupid. The whites can't get away with it as much, but they do it all the time. They double down on stupidity. They double down on effort. And then whenever something comes out, they want to blame you instead of saying, you know what, why do you guys feel like this? It's unaccountability. I've talked about dealing with unaccountability since I've lived on the continent of Africa. It's somebody makes a mistake, it's your fault. But let me talk about this. Black America is a cesspool of unaccountability, just like here. That's the one thing that keeps all blacks behind.
So as you can see from the fiery rhetoric from old boy, that it's just basically like a lot of black people being fed up with one party having such a hold on the community, and then making sure that they do specifically nothing for the culture. And that's like, it's gonna run out. You know, time is at that point now where it ran out, and then obviously having all the immigrants coming in here, opening the floodgates, thinking that they were gonna sustain inside America for a few elections. Then Trump came in and was like, everybody gotta go. So you know they're gonna be standing at all the voting spots when it come down to that time frame. And so it's like, if you're gonna be sliding here voting, you might be getting ready to slide up out the country. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically a lot of what this is about. It's like the black people have been forced to think that voting for a Democratic Party is supposed to be something that's going to benefit you. But in every black community across America, is destruction. It's terrible. It's fucked up. It's gentrification. The neighborhoods is terrible. I mean, beyond understand it. Even if you visit a town that you ain't even from, it's like, what the fuck do black people living like? You start going back praying, like, damn, you know what? I'm kind of glad that it ain't like it's bad. I thought it was real crazy where I'm from, but when I was right there, them motherfuckers got real crazy. And it's drug dealing shit happening all around their ass. But it's not a state, not a town, ain't where I'm from. But it's just, again, you be thinking that you from something that's crazy, then you go see other people's shit, be like, what the fuck is going on? And it's a small town, it ain't even like a big ass city. It's like, they really stuck right here. You know what I'm saying? And they should be like downtown or next to downtown. It's bougie shit everywhere, big ass high rises, but where the black people live, it's like you'll throw up. You like, man, what the fuck is this? But it's like that around America, and all these people are supposed to be like, you know, vote for us, we Democrat, vote for us, we Republican, we rich, we white. And he's like, oh, you from the frenzy. Who the fuck do I go for? I don't know. But any question regarding you or regarding what you especially want or think, it's not even a conversation. Hell no. What the fuck you talking about? We said abortion. What do you get out of here? You over there? Like, wait, I thought we said solar energy. You, oh damn, okay. What about our family? What about that? No, we said Social Security. You like, damn, ain't shit. You don't say nothing for black people over there. No, you better hope up and vote because people die for your ass to vote. And then they get people like, well, what's the guy name right here? Roland Martin to come up there and start putting all the black history up on how many people got choked out for you to vote, but you still can't get $5 from the government and no contracts, no deals, no shit. They can, oh yeah, all the contracts went to Elon Musk. You know, he built an electric car. You're like, what the fuck that mean? Like, we're fucked up. So it's like a lot of people are just fed up and it ain't gonna happen. And the message is coming from black media. If you haven't heard of them, they out there. So let me flip back to the message.
And that is, I'm wrong. I know that I'm wrong. I don't even care that I'm wrong. I'm going to beat you over the head with the fact that I'm wrong and it's still your fault. And it doesn't matter if the ship burns down with it and it's my fault. Let it burn down. Let it burn down. We don't feel like we need to give you anything. That's all the and it's like black Democrats over the age of 50 that are doing this. The guy from the National Urban League, Mark Morial, I believe he's 67. He don't care. As long as the black boulets have what they want, who cares about the rest of black America? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the policies affect black Chicago on the west and south side and Venezuela.
And that's a perfect example. What's good, Rob Bates? Hey, that's a perfect example. It's like you got all the chance to help the black people, but motherfuckers don't be feeling like they want to do that. So they'll run up out of here on you and get their bougie crib, get their bougie car, and then be sitting around looking at you like you ain't vote. That's why you ain't got shit. You think what the hell you mean? We voted. And you, what you mean? Oh yeah, well one vote ain't gonna work, man. You got to get more people to vote like you. Dude riding around in a fresh car, dope ass crib. All he had to do was just be a part of some association or get voted in, like whatever the fuck the caucus, this, that, and the third, and then they own. You know what I'm saying? And you sit back, your people sit back broke as hell. The whole community broke down, and they ain't finna do shit for you because all they gotta do is just get voted back in. And if you get too loud, if you get too ruckus and start making big noise, they'll just vote an African in that motherfucker. Somebody who don't know what the fuck you talking about. Like, I'm from Kenya. You like, what the fuck that mean? We trying to get, look, man, y'all need to go back to your motherland. Don't be in America. That's why it's fucked up for you. It's no help. It's no, what are they even there for? You know what I'm saying? So, and we already know this because you don't see no black caucus coming to your hood. If they be outside, they be like, yeah, it's a fish fry at the damn old church. Come on down here. Yeah, fish fry and voting. You be like, oh, I don't eat fish. I'm allergic to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, still come down here. You can vote, brother, and then leave a donation. Hit the like button, show some love. Let's get back to the message. Well, taking over there. It don't matter if policy is affecting Black Philadelphia. It doesn't matter if policies are affecting Black Detroit, while other immigrant groups are getting together and starting businesses, and yet we are not. See, that doesn't matter. And because you are upset with them for not doing their job, which is to protect you, they're mad at you that you're mad at them for being liars. How dare you be mad at me? Like, this is what's happening. You literally have people on the south side of Chicago. I don't know where Cabrini Greens is, but Cabrini Greens is on the west side was there, right? They promised to put this housing project back into the community. The community in Black Chicago is one of the greatest communities in the world, despite the violence. They asked for these resources to bring back into the community. Okay? Now, let me just talk about this. At the time that the mayors, whether it's Brandon Johnson, Lori Lightfoot, when the black community going to City Hall and they're saying, listen, what about these resources that you're asking or you're promising us in the community? You said that you would bring X, Y, and Z back. They tell the Black Chicago, we don't have any money for it. We can't help you. This not in the budget. Now the migrants come in right away. All of a sudden, we got funding for the budget. Now, while this is happening, the migrants come on, and the migrants are getting everything that y'all said. Okay, everything. The migrants getting everything, and the blacks are sitting there idly by, and they're looking at y'all giving them everything. And you know what? And that's a fact. We all know that now, man. That's why a lot of people been so mad at this, all, especially the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Johnson. People like, what? Can't you understand that we're supposed to have something for the American people here? That the black people been here all these years supporting you, voted you in. Like, what's going on? And they be like, no, these people, they stressed out. They need money. They need this. Yeah, but you handing them our shit. Like, go back to the government and see if they'll throw you some more. And then when they throw him some more, he putting everything into that. And it's like, dog, you don't even see our town. You supposed to be black like us. So, that's why, I think my lady asked me this morning, she was like, why do you think that people be locked into those things like that? Or do you think they don't care about black people? I'm like, not really. if you locked into your democratic game and that's what you gonna love more, like when the message come down and they say, "Yo, we open the floodgates, we're letting the immigrants in," you gonna care for that more than you care for blackness. Because what is really blackness? Everybody broke and fucked up, and can't nobody help you. If you ain't got shit, if you ain't get a white ass job, you out here scarred. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to try to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how to get on, and the government ain't gonna help you. So finally, if the government got anything to do with you, it's gonna be fake, phony, fraud. It ain't gonna be 100%. It ain't gonna be legit. You can't trust no damn body. You know what I'm saying? It's like they gonna come in there with COVID shots. Like, yeah, we're gonna get all y'all jobs. Everybody gonna be a construction worker. You like, damn, finally, we got something. But before we start, we need to come in here and get y'all DNA with these fingerprints. We need to get y'all blood pressure. The fuck you talking about? You got huh? Ain't that invasive as hell? You can't get nothing like that from me. Y'all want these jobs, man. Then the people come down here and say, man, that's all they wanted was y'all fingerprints and y'all blood. But y'all sitting up here trying to act like y'all need something. Then when they come for something, your standards all in the way. It's like, hold the fuck, you can't ask for some shit, man. So it's like they don't do that to other cultures. You get over here from another country, they passing your ass all kind of shit. I heard of Venezuelan motherfuckers who came to America, been in this bitch about 10 years. They instantly get a house access. They instantly get a home. They instantly get a business loan. This motherfucker got like three motherfucking, no, he said six Venezuelan restaurants around Chicago. I'm not Venezuelan. I never seen them, but that must be in another section of town. He like, I got six of them bitches, and I own three homes. I said, God damn, yeah, because if you got six businesses and you selling to your people, he said, we sell our food to our people. We're not trying to sell downtown. We ain't trying to sell in some other community. We sell it. We know what we eat. We sell it to the village. He was already here before they came. So but he was an immigrant like them. He had just been here 10 years and got married. And so the girl, and I heard this on NPR, one of the national public radio stations. So he was like basically he felt like his company was at threat now because they was coming in there snatching people up. But he was really successful. He was like, I have three homes and he's at 4 or 5 homes and shit that he bought and six of my corporate his food, he got 6 stores. And he like, man, we feed our people. When they come to this place, they don't can't eat this shit. So they come and we feed them and we give them money, we help them out. And we come, he was just naming all this shit. I'm like, damn, you can get fucking housing loans and shit like that where you could get one crib and flip it into another one and it's straight from the government. Just straight down. Government, he got a loan to get the motherfucking business started. Obviously, he was able to scale that shit into 3, 4, 5 minutes. Where your motherfucking loan at to get the business? Where your loan at to get the restaurant? That should be some shit that American people get instantly, even if you fail at it, even if you tried and it don't work. That's some shit you get to try. Out of college, okay, bet. Get you a motherfucking loan for your restaurant, get you a loan for your house. If it failed, then bam, or you can't get a second one. But for them, it's just like, oh, you need this. Bam. What about all the motherfuckers who broke their neck to go to college and get education and get jobs so that they can have access to this shit? But they don't have access to it. It's like you gotta come, you gotta go out this bitch and swing back through Mexico and shit, name yourself something else, and then boom, now you get on. And that still probably call that shit fraud. Like you weren't gone long enough. Looked like you was out of town 2 days. You had to at least be gone 35 days before you could do that. It'd be some new rules for your ass. Let's get back to it.
Nobody says anything. Nobody in the National Urban League says, you know what you guys are doing is wrong. Y'all promised the black people, the black community, that you was going to do that. Why are y'all not doing it? Don't nobody say nothing. The professional black caucus doesn't say nothing. The professional black caucus sits there and they'll talk about, oh, it's wrong for the immigrants. You on the side of the immigrants, ain't on the side of the blacks. Now, show me where the Hispanics is selling themselves out to somebody else. They not. Hispanics can never do that. Hispanic leadership will never sell themselves out to somebody else. Never. Because they're going to have accountability in their community. The black community is the only community you go to your leadership and complain, and they'll turn it right back around on you as if you're the problem. That's only in black America and Africa.
Now the big question is, would you vote for that again? Regardless of how it sounds, the way the guy going down a pipeline about it, would you vote for that again? You know what I'm saying? Suarez, what y'all on? Tomorrow I look like Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg. But you know what I would like for the comments to do? Help my bank account look like Snoop Dogg and what the fuck is Jay-Z, whoever the fuck y'all be saying? Do that. So go to Hood Films on Cash App, send that 100 million, send that 200,000. Put me in the game. Go to Venmo, go to Cash App. What's up? Do the job. Cause I like the comment, but the bank account don't match it. So let's get the matching of the bank accounts. And I appreciate y'all coming back. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit subscribe. I don't think I would want to vote for a party that does that. And so you could look at it and just be like, well, we just basically black people, except for the older folks that feel like they got some kind of stronghold. Because I remember a lot of people at the time Trump was running, you would go somewhere with my mother, and maybe some person just would randomly be like, who y'all vote for? And then they'd be like, oh, I'm voting for, I'm voting for whatever this nigga name is, Biden or whatever the fuck, or Kamala. And then they'll get into some conversation about, I never vote for Trump. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him, he ain't shit. And I'd be like, damn, people going crazy over this ass, especially people older than me. And I used to be like, but wow, because you going so crazy about him, like you just had all this time with Biden and did nothing change in your life. He didn't give you no loans, he didn't help no businesses, he didn't change the motherfucking uh, student loan shit. Like he did everything for other folks. And then when it came down to Ahmaud Arbery and shit going to trial, and people were trying to, the guy who was running and shit, they tried to murder him. He sent in some people from the DOJ to try to ask for them to get a lighter sentence and be put in the feds instead of in the state. It's where they were supposed to be because of the state crime. But what the hell would they try to get put up to the feds for? Because they white and his DOJ went down there to go ask that question. And the only reason why we knew about that is because the mother went to the mother of Ahmaud Arbery went to the news and was like, who is these people coming down here trying to get these people put up in a goddamn state in the feds when they know they're supposed to be state crime and state criminals. But this the type of shit they do behind the scenes if you ain't really paying attention to all that stuff. This the Democrats. Not to say that you ain't gonna vote for them eventually or at some point, but you still should be knowing how they kick it, what they doing, what's behind the scenes. And that's a lot of stuff that the Black Roots is saying. They're breaking this down. They're not on big name news. They're not working for CNN. They didn't used to have a job at ESPN and none of that shit. They just basically be studying the game and they know what's happening. And so if you into the game and you know what's popping, you will study it and find out about it too, just so you don't be tricked. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk around like you some preacher or street preacher telling everybody or giving everybody some kind of insight on what they should do for voting because people just gonna look at you like you're crazy. And ultimately it's their decision. But if you can understand a little bit further, or if you have a demand, like, man, you know what? We need this fixed in my community, or we need this fixed over here. But the people that's ultimately voting, or the people that's ultimately dominating your sector, is people who do not give a fuck about black people or your area or who you are. You're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? So we've been voting for the president, but the people that's at the mayor is just as democratic and bogus as the motherfucker at the presidency. You still losing. That's what everybody's able to figure out with Mayor Johnson in Chicago. He's not really going to do nothing to benefit black people, just like old girl said, Kamala Harris. He was carrying that on. She was making a message to reverberate outwardly to her culture of Democrats. And even though she didn't win, everybody else kept that message rocking. Like, okay, don't do nothing specifically for black people. But now again, it's gonna come back around to vote. And they're gonna be saying it's a fish fry down here in church. Y'all better come down here. The hell down at the fish fry. Vote. You better vote or die. Like, what the fuck? Did he back around this bitch? What the fuck just happened? They're gonna try to make you convince you to get back on their team with them when you already know. Benign neglect, they not finna do shit for you, your culture. If they did something for black people, we'd be like salivating dogs. We'd be like, we've been waiting our whole life. My God. They all said that they're going to install a kiddie rink for shorties and shit to go to school and learn math. Like some shit like that. They don't even do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Let's get back to it.
Africa, that kind of stuff happens. The rest of the world, you can't do it in Israel, you can't do it in white America, you can do it amongst Asians. But amongst blacks, you can do it all day long, and it's quite okay. And won't nobody say something, they'll turn around and flip it on you as if you got a problem. After they done promised you what they was going to and turn right back around and act like, what? Why you mad for? Why you angry? Why you upset? Guys, we think it's your boy, Phil Jackson, back at it again. Full episode of The Celebrity Drink, which is why you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Yeah, 1A, I would probably say Kanye over Snoop Dogg, man. Only because he's from Chicago. But just to answer that question, I would probably say Kanye over Snoop, just because he's from Chicago as far as music goes. And Snoop Dogg kind of like been around since I was a little kid and shit. And he a relic in the game now. He like a statue on the side. Like he already been made such a big motherfucking statement in the game. You know what I'm saying? That it's like beyond understanding. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let y'all hear a few seconds of some of these black people that be talking that stuff. Like, oh boy, he did a show today that was crazy. His name's Professor Black Truth. It's about a white dude who killed his whole family or some shit like that. But his whole show on Fridays be about the news that you don't hear in white America. And he don't have commercials on.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. And now the Friday Crime Report. Los Angeles, California, Tuesday, November 7th, 2023, 3:54 p.m. 35-year-old Samuel Bond Haskell IV had lived a pretty charmed life. The suffix "fourth" at the end of his name was a good enough indicator of that. His father, Sam Haskell, is an Emmy-winning producer and was an executive at the William Morris Talent Agency before launching his own production company. Samuel had a six-bedroom home on Coldstream Terrace in the Tarzana neighborhood of Los Angeles. He lived there with his wife, 37-year-old Maylee Haskell, along with their three young children, and also with Mei Li's mother, Yang Ji Wang, and her stepfather, Gao Shan Li. So you had a married couple with kids and the in-laws all under one roof. Talk about a full house. From outward appearances, they seemed to be a completely happy and content couple. The neighbors certainly thought that everything was normal, but apparently there was trouble in paradise. Because on November 7th, 2023, Samuel Haskell flagged down some day laborers and asked them to remove some bags from his home. The workers said Samuel had paid them $500 and had told them that they were merely hauling away rocks. But they said the bags felt soggy and soft, like meat. Even though they had taken the bags away, the laborers suspected that something wasn't right. So they pulled over on the side of the road to examine the bags and discovered human body parts. The laborers turned right around and returned the money and the bags to Haskell and then contacted police. But by the time the local pig patrol arrived, the bags and Haskell were gone.
Now that sounds crazy to me. They call you as day laborers to come pick up some bags. You go there, you feel weird. You like the bags don't seem correct. So let's look at them. They touch them, there's dead bodies in there. So instead of you going straight to the police, you go back to the white guy who gave you the bags and be like, "Hey, it's dead bodies in these, man. We ain't moving these." That don't even sound. How is any sense in that? If you had dead bodies in a bag, you're supposed to take the bag straight to the police and be like, "This the house that got him." That so it seemed kind of weird with that alone. First of all, like why would they take the why would they and said they first of all they took the bags back and gave the money back. Huh? You day laborers, you need that fucking money so goddamn bad. So why would you give the money back? You would have been like, "Yo, the police dude gave us this money. I don't know, maybe it's evidence. I don't know." But they gave it back to the guy. They didn't even get the money to the police. So it's like that's weird. But hey, let me let him talk a little bit more.
The next morning, a man found a human torso stuffed into a duffel bag in a dumpster in an Encino parking lot, about 5 miles from Haskell's home. It would later be revealed that on that same day, Samuel Haskell was both seen and videoed putting a large trash bag into that same dumpster. Police returned to Haskell's house, with the detectives discovering blood and other evidence consistent with killing and dismemberment. Haskell was arrested after the gruesome discovery. They found him at a shopping mall, no less. He was charged with 3 counts of murder. The medical examiner would determine that the torso that had been found was Maylee Haskell's. No remains of either of her parents would ever be found. But as the deputy DA said, they didn't need a body in order to charge someone with murder. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman said DNA evidence linked to all 3 victims was on a bloody knife found in Haskell's possession. Hochman also said investigators found a cutting saw, machetes, knives, a .357 caliber firearm, and a bloody plyboard in which the killings had occurred. And just when people thought this bizarre tragedy couldn't get any weirder, it did. When Haskell made his first court appearance, he was shirtless and wearing an anti-suicide smock. According to a statement from Haskell's attorney, Joseph Wymortz, Haskell was, quote, paraded in front of you over our objection, half naked in court, and allowed zero dignity. Mr. Haskell.
That's crazy. So you got a white guy that is been like, I mean, some of the shit is like so crazy what they be saying, man. It's just, I really don't be understanding how some of these people be living and shit, and then when they get caught, it's like they are caught. Like you really caught. Like, dude, there's no escape. You cannot lie your way out of this one. You basically got caught with massive dead bodies that, and it's supposed to be your family. Like, come on, this dude is killing his girl and her mama. Could you imagine somebody that goddamn crazy? He killed the girl, her mother, and her father. And they found the actual girl, but they didn't even find the father and the mother. And it's like, what? But see, it's again, people wanting to rape, because imagine a lot of people I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but some people who I've seen, for instance, that lady, Remy Ma, she's some artist, and she's Asian. She had a baby with Yeezy, but she had moved her family, wanted to move her family into their mansion. The mother, the brother, and it's like they had broke up. And I was telling my wife, she was like, "Why do you think they broke up?" And I was like, "Well, if the girl tried to move her family into the mansion, they millionaires. He a millionaire, she a millionaire, whatever, right? So now they get in a house together because they got a kid, they married, they gonna try to stay together. So she want to move in her brother and her mother and her whoever her family. So it's like for a black family, that's gonna be a problem. Because when you get rich like that, you're not moving in your brothers and cousins and nephews. That's just, even if you got a mansion with 25 rooms, you're not doing that. Other cultures, they do that. So they'll be like, yo, and it is dumb as hell, but it's the facts. But, you're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you got room, it's not happening. So in another culture, they be on that. They be like, yo, I'm rich. Hey, mama, bro, everybody come the fuck up. So that's exactly what happened in this situation right here. She married a rich white dude. Well, because his father was rich. So that means he basically rich too. You know what I'm saying? So he got a big ass sprawling crib. They move in, the family. She say, yo, it's space in here. Mama, daddy, come on. So now all of them in the same house. So, he's a white person. He used to being around white people. So now he got three Asian folks in his home. And then he snapped. He killed every damn body. And so now they say he had three kids, but they don't really say nothing about what happened to the kids. But then he killed everybody. And what now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? He's supposed to just go home and go to jail or whatever. But let's finish the story, see what else happened to this dude. Was forced to wear a protective vest, which he could not pull up above his chest for medical reasons. In 2013, he had a colectomy and was required to rely on an ostomy bag. Now, all of this happened back in 2023. There wasn't much movement on the case in terms of prosecution in the last 2 years, though there was one significant development. Haskell was awaiting trial when he reportedly committed suicide in his cell on Saturday, July the 12th of this year. Authorities described him as having self-inflicted injuries. I don't know why, but that kind of reminds me of Epstein for some reason. It's still unknown what the motive was for this slaughter. D.A. Hochman said that Haskell had been having an affair with a 27-year-old woman, but it's not known if this had anything to do with it, and now I guess we'll never know. According to May Lee's uncle, May worked several jobs and was the main breadwinner in the household. It's not clear what work, if any, Sam. So now that's crazy. So obviously his father was so rich that he didn't even have a job. That would have put an alarm on a lot of people. But with him being white, they in a big ass crib. It's like they say she was the breadwinner, she the one who had the job. Now, come on, that ain't. Come on, you married a white dude, but you the one working your ass off. And the money ain't coming in like that. Your whole family in the crib. Like, what? Why would you even be living with this motherfucker? You might as well just be like, oh y'all, we finna move over here, and goddamn it, I'm paying the bills anyway. We're just gonna probably downsize a little bit. But I mean, they stayed with him. They stayed in the same house until he snapped, killed the whole family, and then he committed suicide in jail. So they saying. So that's what it sound like the Epstein thing is like he's saying. And so it's like, dang. So, he just get away with it. Basically, they never found the parents, what he did with them, and then he died. So these people just missing. So that's why I was like, sometimes when you go to the media, and his whole idea of this particular show on Fridays is the media, the news that the big media don't tell you about. So it's like, I listen to it and be like, damn, I thought I heard something about this story, but didn't really pay attention to it. But the fact that the guy, I guess, killed himself a week ago, but didn't know why, like what was the whole thing about it. They didn't like go all into his whole shit about at that point. So that's why it's like you hear about it and you be like, oh, okay, so this was going on. Just like if you watch regular news and they telling you, hey, this was happening over there in Palestine, this was happening over in fucking Ukraine. You just think you don't know that they telling you heard it and what can it do? You know what I'm saying? You're not finna go and tell everybody at the barbershop, hey man, you'll never believe what's happening, in these countries. But this kind of information they don't put on the main media. So sometimes black media is important because they'll say this. This guy went deep into this particular guy's story, and I ain't even know nothing about it. So let me go a little bit more and see what he got to say. Haskell did, or whether his family supported him financially. The son of a rich and powerful white media executive becomes spoiled and shiftless due to his privilege? Say it ain't so. How can people who have everything be the angriest and the most willing to commit heinous killings like these? This is the evil heart of white supremacy and the degeneracy that it spawned. A story not about the horror that he had committed, but instead making it all about how his death was part of a larger pattern of inmates dying while in the custody of the LA County jail system. That's what focus was for the first 6 paragraphs of that story. Now, I don't mean to say that inmates dying is unimportant.
But the white media showed a lot more concern and sympathy and outrage at the prison guards over Haskell's death than they did for Robert Brooks, who didn't commit a triple homicide and who was savagely murdered by animals in New York. No matter what happens, the way white media covers stories is determined solely by the race of whomever they're talking about. Even triple axe murders become human interest stories so long as the human you're talking about isn't black. They report on a triple murder with humanity and sympathy while demonizing black people who are the victims, and this is the result of it. But this is typical of the white media because, hey, just because a guy butchers his wife, the mother of his children, and then decides to ginsu her parents as well, that's no reason to make that the main thing we talk about when he dies. Instead, let's bemoan the way that he was treated by those mean old people in the LA prison system. And the white media's bizarre outrage for Haskell in this instance is also part of the reason why I made it this morning's briefing. As I said at the beginning, this barbaric act took place in 2023. That's significant because we heard a lot about Stop Asian Hate in the years following the outbreak of COVID 19. But mostly what we saw was the white media lying and falsely trying to make black people the face of any and all violence, altercations, or merely arguments with anyone Asian. They were on a full-fledged jihad to make sure that that was emblazoned in the public mind. You had creeps like Juju Chang putting out absurd anti-black propaganda hit pieces, and nobody called her out on it because this was the narrative the white media wanted out there. And so it,
That's basically the whole gist of that kind of argument and situation. This dude, whoever this dude was, he killed his family, and it's like really hidden. He said 6 paragraphs in before they even mentioned what the fuck this guy was arrested for, why he went to jail. Like you have no reference to him. You got to read all the way down because they talking about, yeah, guess what be happening in the jails, man? People be dying, and not to say that that don't happen or it ain't bogus, but the scenario is this guy and what the fuck he did. So who the fuck finna read 6 damn paragraphs down before you get to realize what this guy was in jail for and all that shit? You know what I'm saying? How you know his information is that far down? You got to keep reading, keep moving, and by the time you get halfway to 3 paragraphs, you like, well, I'm moving the fuck on, and they know that. You know what I'm saying? And who gonna even read a paragraph? Period. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. It's the reason sometimes you listen to the black media that give information, insight on shit that you just probably didn't even fucking know. You know what I mean? Like it didn't. They not gonna put this on the news. They're not about to talk about it. And he do these on Fridays. That's Professor Black Truth. That's dude. His name Professor Black Truth. He's just somebody who I found on the internet, or one of my cousins sent me his videos or some shit like that. And then you start like, kind of listening to it. And then you say like, damn, dude, he talking about shit I just don't know. And sometimes like the news. Globe over zero. Shit will not. They're trying to play with me and make my damn thing not be able to stop the punk ass commercial and shit. Nah, stop that bullshit. This Black Authority too. This is another dude. I don't listen to this dude that much, but I know he out here. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about all kind of shit on their shows. You know what I'm saying? And they just people online, and it's again the shit they talk about. What the fuck? Where the hell was that at? Here it go. 12 days ago. I don't know if that was his last show. Let's see. It won't let me. It's tweaking. It won't let me go back into his channel. Let's see. Let's see this. Yeah, YouTube. And they might have blocked his ass. These brothers, yeah, they look like they blocked dude channel. The Black Authority channel. Let me click a video there because it don't look like they are letting. Okay, they're letting this video play, but you can't go to his actual channel, the Black Authority, if you want to check it out. But they will cancel your damn channel, talking that shit. The world, a headline can say so much to you, and I think this one does as well. Hot off the presses, Los Angeles, in the middle of wildfires and any other catastrophe you could possibly think of there. It's going on. They want you to know that they got extra time on their hands and extra money. So your Humpty eyes do not deceive you. LA will provide cash assistance to illegal aliens. Hey, RH, you being foul out here. Hey, that's the mayor of LA. I forgot her name, but he might mention it. But she's the mayor of LA. I don't know her name right now though. They are going to be giving cash payments to illegal aliens. And I want to read to you the story because there'll be some people who might try to argue, and before you let the ADHD kids Karen Bass, yeah, sit up here and jump up and say things, folks think they're getting slick now.
They think they're getting slick. They think they're getting fancy. So they're trying to find in runs around things. I'm going to read to you here from the article from the LA Times. It's not a very long article, as a matter of fact. It says Mayor Karen Bass announced a plan Friday to provide direct cash assistance to people who have been affected by the Trump administration's sweeping immigration raids. Nigga, what? Well, I mean, that's exactly what the conversation is about. In a little bit, RH, what's your opinion with illegal immigrants? The point of the matter is that the idea of illegal immigrants being allowed in America at such a loud, of a big rate was through the Democrats, obviously, and then they came over here, and then a lot of them was a setup to where they're going to be able to be a voting class and working jobs and doing things that a lot of black people in other cultures was trying to get to happen for them, get money, get jobs, get contracts from the government. And then when you get those people, a lot of those folks came here and they just automatic because they of the immigrant status. They was getting housing vouchers. They was getting loans. They was getting business loans and things that just don't happen for Americans right away, especially. So being in that status, obviously they were spreading the message. So then a lot more people was coming. A lot more people obviously overflux. So that's what Trump was like, get out. But a lot of those people who could vote, who had time to vote, or they was allowed to vote, they voted for Trump, which was not was supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? So obviously Trump and him was like, that's on you. Still get the fuck out of America. So a lot of those people had to get out. And so mentioning a person like this, Karen Bass in LA, who's trying to give cash assistance to immigrants, is again, what have we black people been asking for reparations? Other cultures been asking for insights and government grants or whatever in their realms. And but now people came from another country, they under the status of immigration and immigrants, and they just get a whole lofty shit, and it's just don't matter. It's not right. Our age. Here's my take: illegal immigrants have always been there, been here, but what's happening over the last 5 years? Supply has outspaced demand. One of the reasons housing is expensive. Yeah, and it's just it's like a wave. It just don't stop at one spot. It keep going and it keep affecting so many people in so many aspects. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some people that's business minded. Like I found a guy out there, one of Jay-Z friends, and he was like, "What do you?" I wish I can't find that video. I want to find it because he was saying, "What is your problem with tripping on the immigrants?" He was like, if you're a business person or business minded person, you're supposed to go get them and have them working for your company. You're supposed to go get them and create a company. You got laborers. You're not supposed to look at them and say, get out. I don't want y'all here. He said, you're supposed to be looking at these people and say, fuck it, you hired. Let's get a moving company. 5 of y'all help me get a moving company. And then, or you help me move this shit. And now we got bodies to help us open businesses. And I was like, damn, I didn't think about that. I'm like, what the fuck is doing that? We want to JC homies, but they ain't tight no more. I forgot dude's name, man. I'm gonna find that video because I want y'all to see it. Because when I saw it, I was like, damn, you know what? I didn't think about it from that perspective of utilizing the people just like a big corporation was or whoever. The Walmart, they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have 5 of y'all, and then we just gonna trade $5 off the overall pay that we normally would give to somebody, and then you probably don't need it. What that shit is, healthcare like that right away. So we'd probably stretch that for a year now before you can get into the program because people might be in and out coming to the jobs when they just got to get you straight into the program. It changes a lot of shit that would have normally been enforced by regular Americans because you taxpayers and you can come up there and have a big more conversation. You say, what about reparations of black? Do you support that? Of course. RH. Another question. Did you vote for Trump or Harris? Bro, you're getting personal. God damn. Wait, hold up, bro. We just met like 13 seconds ago. Just talking here and hit the like button. Yo, let me get back to another one because this one of my homies that's talking, not my homie, but somebody spend less on your kids all the time as far as media on the internet. And he got a great take. You could consider him urban media, black media, but he's more in the hip hop realm, as I would consider myself. Not necessarily in the politics, but I do know it. I understand it. It's just not necessarily my cup of tea. But hit the like button, hit the share button, show love. We appreciate you watching Black Outrage 26. In this particular video, we're talking about Roland Barton and how he went crazy talking about black media. Then we kind of doing a little research and talking and finding some black media, so you can actually know what we're talking about. And saying, I like the channel, my bro. But see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Jump shot. OG was good. You said you heard about Candace Owens being sued by the Macrons. I'm worried about Candace Owens because it's like balls are the Bridget's court. Balls in Bridget's court. Hey, you know.
We speak out loud, things can happen. You get Dame Dash. He spoke out loud, things can happen. It's not like we on the earth with a billion people, billions of people. So you just gotta allow that to be reality. If you speak out, things can happen. Not necessarily you want it to happen, not necessarily you thought it was gonna happen, but it's just the world. Pandu said, "I double tap the screen with my tip." Okay, you're a little different, but I guess you looking for a chick and she gonna find you. You gonna find her. You'll figure it out. All right. How can Candace be sued when she spoke the truth? Do I look like a damn lawyer? I don't know what the fuck even happening with them people, but I do know one thing. If you could defame people, they can have a way to come back after you. And this is something anybody and everybody got to think about because if nothing else, it fucks her up as far as having to go put money inside of what they calling people lawyers and shit. That if nothing else, they do that. If they don't do nothing else, you got to go be like, okay, show up in court. They go $15,000, $20,000. Who want to do that? But I mean, maybe you got the money to spend. Maybe your message is so important. But hey, that ain't my business. Pandu hasn't hit me like, but damn, calling bro out. All right, let's see what my man got to say on this. This back on rolling situation. Let's go.
Nothing how under a Democrat appointee on the FCC changed the law when it came to how many folks were getting overcharged, making phone calls in prison. Republicans got in and said, no, we throwing that out. We're just gonna discuss it next. I'm sorry, I forgot, Nola, what no tangibles. Yeah, all y'all FBA, B1, ADOS, AOs, well, guess what? All that complaining y'all did, welcome to Trump MAGA America. Lame bull speech on the floor. I want to know, are you going to pay? I want to know, is a Democrat going to go to the floor and say, I'm shutting this down? I'm putting a hold on every single confirmation, every single nomination. I'm gonna make y'all have to go through every procedure to get anything passed. Do you mean to tell me there's not one Senate Democrat that has the guts to do that? See, this is why people are saying, listen, weaknesses going on here. Black Pack has a new poll out we're going to talk about a little bit later that shows that black folks are ripping Trump and they got no confidence that Democrats got any fight in them. He said, I'm recruiting some folks that got some dog in them. They ain't got no dog. They ain't trying to swing at all. Yo.
Well, let me say, bro, what's your basis for believing blacks deserve reparations? Ah, that's a simple answer, my brother. Slavery. All right, let's get back to it. Oh, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as look what the wind and the algorithm done reeled in. None other than Roland Fortin undermining and disrespecting FBAs and Democratic shilling as he always does once again. And I had a link in the description where you can watch that in full on his YouTube channel. And I didn't even know that he went out there and jumped out there to this level on it now until I see Tyreek Nasheed had a video on it this morning. We had already dropped it, but I had just seen it as of late. Is this nigga Roland Fortin does not represent anything that we need to be listening to when he talking to FBAs, my nigga, foundational black Americans, because the simple fact, this is a description of our lineage, our history, what our ancestors went through, the pain, the suffering, and the foundation that they laid in the groundwork for him, his people, and everybody to even be in America when it comes to this thing. And what they hey, I hope you heard what the bro just said right there, because that was a great description and analysis of what is going on. And I hope you heard that. You might not have heard it, but it's important. All right, say I deserve reparations. My great great grandparents fought to free slaves and lost his life in the Civil War. RH, my family died fighting a war to free you brothers. It's time for you to get off your democratic plantation. Hey, that's a lot of times what they be saying too. On and shout out to your grandfather for doing something for the man. You know, it's white people. Come on, we in America. It's stuck here, so it's white people who actually fought for that. But in a lot of times, and I'm glad RH is speaking because he can go back and put the message out there to my white people. You have to speak just as fervently and as loudly as us. It need to be a podcast called White Outrage so that you can talk about these things and other things so that you can expound on the fact that your grandfather helped people who would not know. How would we know your grandfather did that? If we knew that, we'll be riding your grandfather BMX rides right now. Everybody in the hood would be like, "No, man, you know this the abolitionist one. Oh, straight up with me, I'm riding them bitches." You gotta know, bro. We'll support you if you put it out there. But these are things that make us, as Black people, we've been taught to be historically sound, historically inept. So we would not adapt. We would be trying to study our history because this is what they would teach us in the music. This is what they would teach us in the household. Teach us just in church. You're always stuck with your knowledge and your information. So this is why we're trying to gain further more knowledge and stuff. And sometimes you got the Roland Martins and people like that. They be so attached to the particular what they call the Democrats or Republicans and shit like that. They get the message convoluted, and that's why we have to kind of decipher it and work through it so we can have our own message and our own understanding. R.A. said, "Got another question for you. What does a small percentage of the population commit of the what does a small percentage of the commit the major of the crime?" My point is, just because our family lines were impacted by slavery, that doesn't mean we should deserve reparations. Well, I understand that, but your family was not impacted by slavery. That's different. Your family decided to participate in slavery. Black people were impacted by slavery. And so, whereas you might get the conversation caught up into maybe 1959 or 1941 or 1855 or maybe 1772. Slavery started in 1609. So you're talking about 1609 to 2075, 2025. That's centuries of impacting. So by the time they got to your great grandfather, where you could calculate back five, six maybe grandfathers. Imagine not having no knowledge of that. Imagine not being able to go back and do none of that. Imagine not being able to do none of that because some white people decided you shouldn't be in America. Or when you come here, you have to be three-fifths of a human. So it's a whole lot, bro. But we ain't gonna get all into that right now because we can get on Patreon and then you can go way deep into the understanding of why we shouldn't be fighting and why reparations should still happen and all that stuff. So anyway, he said, "No, we were impacted. My family members died in the Civil War." Let me do that again. "No, we were impacted. My family members died in the Civil War." All right, we put it out there for him. All right, let's go.
You need to do and know and get it overstood. The FBAs is not playing, my nigga. Keep that out your mouth with the disrespect. It just is what it is. And we already know how it went down with you and Green, and it seems like after Green got up on you like that right there, you know that you don't want that, bro. But you say slick stuff and you talk crazy to people and you make it personal, but it is what it is, bro. Look how you talking about our people. Black Americans, my nigga, knock it off. And I do know this as well. Make sure I want this understood to my supporters, the people that watch and support me. There's never gonna be a time, it's me being an H-Town nigga, I'm gonna look at another H-Town nigga like Roland Farton or anybody from Houston where they speak against FBAs, and I'm gonna be H-Town bias on this. My lineage overrides everything that come with this, my nigga. So when he going FBAs, oh no, we calling it out, Roland Farton, because of the simple fact you talking circles, bro. 1 minute you want to go at the Democrats for how they moving soft, they moving weak. But you keep talking about the same talking points, trying to talk about tangibles. When nigga, let's get this overstood. Prison calls is not a tangible. Black Americans are not the only people in prison. That's the undermining sidewalk talk. A tangible would be something specifically to help Black Americans, not something that affects everybody. So, all right, so there you go, bro. So that's a good point to make right there. So when you talk about reparations, you're not talking about stuff that's going to necessarily reverberate out and help all these other cultures because you can look at it right now. It doesn't help us. So if the immigrants come in town and get home loans and business loans, that doesn't help our culture. That doesn't help us in any way. They don't give us anything. We get to say, okay, thank you.
oh, I guess we get to just go and buy shit from your company, but I guess you're not gonna come over to the neighborhood that we from and buy nothing because you could just watch TV and they tell you, oh, it's so dangerous over there. Why the fuck would I come over there and purchase your product? But over there where you live, it's supposed to be so nice and everybody got jobs and everybody's kumbaya. Well, let me just come over there and buy shit from you, and then my neighborhood will never have the money. You're not ever gonna spend it back in a direction and come support my company or support my neighborhood or support my neighbor. So it's all mixed up. So if we're saying to the government, yo, we want reparations, then why is everybody so pissed off about it? You should either be having a statement to the government yourself. It's almost like you come to the parent and say, yo, parent, this happened to me and I want this. And then another sibling be like, don't give it to him, mama. Don't give it to him. Well, damn, you my sibling with me, but don't we have conversations with each other just as siblings? Why would you tell mama not to give me what I'm asking? Like I'm supposed to turn around and tell you that tell mama not to give you what you're asking for. So it's really just this messaging to go out there and dampen the message from the black culture when you only are in America because of the black culture. Because before a lot of us was even born, black people was fighting. It was colorful, water fountains and shit. So black people was fighting against that and making them pass all these laws and rights, which opened up the floodgates for people to come into America 50, 60, 70 years ago. But now, when you look at those same people, offsprings and great grandkids, they saying, I want reparations too. Well, then where was your family at fighting for all this shit and all these damn times? Well, they did get busted upside the head in those bridges. Why wasn't they doing all these things? They sitting back and you talking all this shit. Your parents wasn't going through all these damn slavery moments and all that shit. Everybody who's been speaking, even the brother RH, is talking about Civil War. Dude, what the fuck you talking about? Don't you know it was a time before that, or you don't really do research? It was a time before the Civil War. You don't see that? It was. And the first person who died and all that shit was black motherfuckers, man. Come on, they wouldn't even letting black people have guns in those wars. You had to be in the front and had a big ass sword. And that's a fact. Because they was like, we ain't giving you no gun because we want you to shoot us in our damn back. That's the fact. So if these things happen and then we know it's our historical reality, and we also know that we don't have a lineage that trace us back to our five great grandparents like somebody else do, why would you not think that there need to be reparations and repayment for the way that we was treated and continually treated? Just like he said, you keep talking about they would want some federal phone calls. Nigga, everybody is black in no damn federal jail. What the fuck are you even talking about, Roland Martin, talking about they was trying to pass the bill for federal phone calls in jail? What the fuck? That's so fucking ridiculous. It's like, what? So we supposed to care about what they doing for whales and care about what they doing for elephants and shit and other animals, and then if they swing and forget us, then we can be like, hey, what about us? Oh shit, I told you we doing these whales right now. What the fuck does that even mean? We are not them. We are not in prison. We are not jail motherfuckers. All we want to do is get shit from the government. If you helping some people in prison, if you helping some people over there, if you helping the whales, then do that. That ain't got shit to do with us. We talking about what we want. Because when it's time to pass these laws and these laws and these laws, you do it. And you don't even question it. You don't even think about it. But when it comes to black people, it's like, you better vote. And then we'll think about it. And black people do that shit consistently. So that's why these messages are out there to say, stop. It's enough of that. Ask for something this time.
When the Republicans, I don't even know if they did that, if they took the phone call things away, but niggas like you want to associate prison with black Americans, my nigga. FBA is a lineage. It's a description of a lineage. The adjectives, foundational black American, meaning you have bloodline ancestry that connects to the American soil that went through slavery on this land, meaning your.
And that's a fact. So my man, Third Eye Mafia, he say, why do Jews deserve reparations, but we don't? We was prisoners of war and slaves, and that's is the exact fact. Here is the most eye-opening revelation. We're still prisoners of war right now. If you're a black person, you can't just go out the country. You can't just fly somewhere. You have to go ask white people, may I go to another country? And guess what the fuck they do? They ship you to Europe first. You can't just go straight to Africa. They you flying your ass to Europe first. Then you going. And if they got some direct flights, that's the shit I don't know. But I'm just saying, this is the way it's made up. You're not able to just go and say, I'm going to do this. And you'll look at a person that's homeless, or look at a person, or not you, but people, we all do. Might look at a person that's homeless or something and say, damn, what's wrong with him? Why? Why? How do you fit into some shit that don't want you to fit into it? And just because this guy or that girl or these 50 people or these 200 million people can, and then you out You ain't be able to get on the inside. You supposed to feel like you less than a person. You're not good enough. You're not smart. You're not what why me? Why can't I get in with the white people? Like what's my problem? I can't fit in with them. But that also is your gift. That's what makes you better. Because all these people, if you listen to them, if you listen to them, slow down and just let them talk, they're fucking miserable. They hate going to work. They fucking can't take it. They can't wait to quit. They even get fired. They go through a lot of shit. Fitting in with whiteness is not just this big old fun dance. It's a fucking problem for a lot of people. And the sad part about it is that if you're not, you might feel bad about your own self, and actually you win because that's what you got to think about. You got to go inside some kind of Uncle Jay Z, Rick, stop, Rick. You got to go to some goofy job, and then they don't even look at you, or they don't even talk to you, or hey, you train him, and you be like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to be. I thought y'all was gonna give me the chance. I've been here enough. Long enough, I thought it was going, and they just keep overlooking you. Blah, 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 blah. You got to come home to your house and shit, fighting a motherfucking yeah, like Rick, like on Boys in the Hood. Like, what the fuck, man? Why am I keep dealing with this? So sometimes not even being inside that shit, that's the win. That's actually the comfort in life. That's actually the fun that life actually has to offer. But you might not be able to get the things that fit in and get you. So it's different. Let's get back to the message.
Parents or your grandparents are not immigrants from another country. They came right here in America. They were either already here before the Europeans came, and there were a lot of black people on this land already that were natives, or they came through hundreds and years ago, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, centuries of years, hundreds of years ago through the slave trade. So we're not doing this. We have our own culture. We are American, bro. We not taking no disrespect. We not letting nobody tell us how to feel. And you gotta respect our people, bro. And the ones that's online trolling you, the ones that I call them my FBA crash outs. The one that's crashing out, you just gotta take it as that. Are they doing that? You can call it that. But every group got those. We see the white supremacists on these apps. We see the other groups on these apps. They just be on there trolling and crashing. Some of these people that are rappers and actors or entertainers, they have these followers that be crashing out on everybody on the internet with these tribes and this worshiping and everything like that. That'll beat up your comments, troll you, do all type of disrespect on the internet. They got artists that got tribes like that. So this ain't just no FBA thing, but they want to try to make it an FBA thing. But that's that undermine and try to disassociate or diminish or make it seem like this ain't nothing. Yes, he talks about Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed coined the term foundational black American off of Dr. Claude Anderson. And when he was pushing with Native Black American, salute to the OG Dr. Claude Anderson, most of them. And then what Tariq Nasheed did, he came in and said, hey, bro, we got to tighten that up a little bit. We don't want to get people confused. So he's pushing this, and you can feel how you feel personally about Tyreek, but the message is the message, the meaning is the meaning. It don't.
And that's another thing that you can see what has gone down through the ethos of time. When black people decide something, and I said this prior to this moment, when black people decide something that's outside of dancing, jumping basketball, running fast, everybody get pissed off. Because if you find something that black people have that you can't benefit from it, then it make you uncomfortable, even though we can't benefit from shit you do. Nothing. We don't eat the food you motherfuckers eat. We don't really kick it in y'all neighborhoods like that. Probably can live your whole life without going to their countries in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's look at Malcolm Jamal Warner. He in a Hispanic town, a Latin country, and he dead. You could have spent that money and took your ass to Africa. Don't mean you couldn't have still passed away, but that you would have been around people that's your own culture. But we've been trained that finances and luxury is European, is Londonian, is Paris. We feel that traveling is in the Virgin Islands, is somewhere against or not necessarily a comfortable location for black people to be. It's not even a lot of black motherfuckers down there. But it's like, hey, I'm on vacation, I got money. I want to go see Boca Boca. I want to see this other island or this. Nothing wrong with that shit. Who the fuck don't want to be traveling, seeing these beautiful places? But when you get there and it's like, oh shit, sir, can I talk to you? Like, fucking talk to me for? I'll let me just talk to you fast. Hey, is people uncomfortable with you? Uncomfortable? I can sit in the fucking chair. Who? Oh, we don't want to say that. Do you mind just sit up here and just say like, what the fuck? But this, what you go through is black, but we supposed to act like that don't happen. Shh, don't say that. See, it's your fault. If you have your damn braids like that, your pants sag like that, What the fuck, man? I'm just sitting in a damn chair. But this is what we go through as black people. It's supposed to be okay, and it's supposed to be not even, another person can say, oh, our family went through that in Civil War time, but your ass ain't dealing with that shit today. You know what I'm saying? If you look around, you motherfuckers can do everything, and we finance all of that shit. The black neighborhood, the black people in the neighborhoods, we buy from every fucking body. You can take, I don't give a damn who it is, whatever their culture is. We will go right now and be like, oh shit, they got them. Give me some churros and we drink. We don't give a damn. Like, oh, food truck, give me fucking full tacos. Let me get some motherfucker. We buy it, we support. Oh, then they just open up a hair spot in our neighborhood. Fucking, let me go get some hair shit out of the Chinese lady. We're not gonna judge it. We're not gonna sit back and say, man, that bitch followed me around. I ain't never going back in there. Man, dude locked the door, said I'm trying to steal. He took my 20 and said I gave him a 10. What the fuck? We're never gonna stop. We're gonna keep going back because that's what they offer us. Otherwise, you gotta walk 40 food blocks out of your goddamn food desert to get some damn chips that ain't got 4,000 pounds of salt on that motherfucker. But are we controlling that? Are we making it like that because we live within it? Or is this shit designed already when you was a fucking baby and you didn't know what your adult life was going to be? But this is what you grew up into. So to speak on it or to talk about it and then make other people uncomfortable, it just shows that's foul. We're not gonna just dance for your ass. We just not gonna give you TikTok dances. We're not just gonna play basketball and dunk. And the motherfuckers that do, congratulations to them, and I appreciate them. But that ain't all of us. We all the fuck ain't gonna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of us gonna speak about it and talk about the injustices and the bullshit that go on. And that's why we call it Black Outrage number 26. And it's the best show online. And I appreciate y'all coming to check me out. Keep going. I'm your boy Hood. I rock these shows because I know how to talk this stuff, and I'm grateful for y'all checking me out. Definitely hit the like button, share the message. Let's keep these conversations going. Let's get back to the message. Peace. Well, not peace, but I see y'all in a minute.
No matter how nobody feel about it, what type of experience they had with it, it's a description of who we is. Our ancestors fought in every war on this land. They sacrificed everything. They made it possible for everybody to come over here because this country did not want all these immigrants or everybody else coming over here. We don't have those issues. We don't gatekeep our dollar with nobody. We never did that. We only did that. We had to boycott stuff to force America to give us the opportunity to do things and to let other people over here. But now you see, when do black people gatekeep their culture? When do black people gatekeep their dollar? When do black people not shop with people from different races or different groups? We spend with everything. We spend money outside the country. So you can't push that type of talk with us, bro. Our See, old boy just said the exact same thing I did. We basically spent like the Carnival Cruise. We spending dope, and then he turned right around and say, "I don't like y'all coming here no more. All they fucking do is dance and throw shit in these fucking speakers. It's your cruise. You set this shit up. You bought the DJ. You made the whole fucking floor for dancing. You played the fucking music. But it's my fault for coming into this motherfucker like, oh shit. Look, hey, let's go down there and fuck around, kick it. Oh shit. Then it's 85 other people. It's not just me. It's just a two. I could see if it was one dude or five guys down there like, turn that shit up, man. We drinking. Okay, yeah, these black dudes kind of going crazy. But he talking about 500 motherfuckers inside the damn park that you set up. You made this whole environment. You created this entire thing. And then the way they act inside the thing that you created, now you get to sit back and judge them. Just don't like how they be. It's just look at that. Then what the fuck you got him over here for? Why would you even set this shit up? You might as well stop even having that whole type of thing happen if you hate how they fucking do it. But the setup is just so you could fall for the trick and be like, oh shit, it's $79? It's 2 for $5? Let's go. Hell yeah. I always wanted to do that shit. And they sitting back taking notes and shit. Wow. That shit, we supposed to boycott the dog shit out of people like them. They about to be selling they better have a damn fish fry on that motherfucker to make somebody come on that bitch. Otherwise, you done. I would never be overseas or nowhere with your bum ass because why you get to judge me for being a free person on my vacation? I could see if we went down to that motherfucker on a Tuesday afternoon and then they was like, did you see how they was partying? They didn't even have to work the next day. It's a fucking weekend. I worked all fucking year to get this goddamn time off and come in here and fucking dance around. Why that bothering you? Then you're playing the fucking music. I didn't bring a fucking speaker on this bitch, standing this fucking tall and shit, and be like, ooh, they gonna have some fun tonight. This your fucking speaker. So it's just sickening. It's sickening that, again, that we got to even hear that type of shit come down from these kind of people. But
Most black people gonna say, "Hey man, who gives a fuck? I'm going back anyway." Then they know it. We support their businesses no matter how racist, no matter how foul, no matter because why? We want to still fit in. We still want to be a part of it. We're not going to invent all that shit and enclose it and make it happen all inside our hood. We want to still be a part of this shit too. So people will be like, man, whatever, man. I'm still, hey, whatever. I'm know what boycott Target my ass. I'm going up in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that monolith thing, like when they was like Kanye West couldn't get some kind of thing with Adidas, and then all they ass shut them down. Everybody, you couldn't even get them money out the bank. He and they're like, hey, my card ain't working. What the fuck? You didn't even know all these people was connected. Yeah, that's his cousin, that's his brother, that's their nephew, and all them run all these corp. You ain't know that? I'm like, shit, I didn't even know that. But yeah, now you got to figure out how to make all this stuff work again because you're going against the people who are intertwined and in control. So let's get to the message.
Blood, our ancestors are their blood, their souls, their pain, their suffering is what makes up the rivers, the lakes, the ponds, the swamps, the soil, the dirt, the mud, and the clay of the history of this land, bro. For half a millennium plus, some of our people was already here way before the Europeans came, my nigga, and they fought in every war, contributed to everything that makes America what America is. They have an identity when it comes to this in America. Just know that, bro. We are part of the history. Everything that went on, you can't come over here and talk down on us and try to undermine us and try to treat us like we less than and disrespect FBAs. My nigga, you done lost your mind, Roland Fortin. But I guess you didn't learn. You're going to keep getting pulled up on with that. I'm not going to pull up on you. You ain't worth my time, bro. You go to college, get all your degrees. This right here is common sense and logic, my nigga. My grandmother is 96 years old. My grandfather is 95. Rest in peace to my other grandparents, but nigga, I'm not letting nobody disrespect what they went through, how they went through it, the racism, the segregation. Nigga, my granny's mother on my pop side probably, and I never talked to her about it, and I need to one day. Did her mother catch the end of slavery? Very, very possible. But if not her, with her being 96, her grandmother caught it. Nigga, and that all made everything go over here possible, bro. So we not having these type of talks, and then you're pushing the word semantics. Cut it out, my nigga. Knock it.
So you see, it's a lot of black people that, and it's a people with their own thing. Like this guy's mostly into hip hop, but as he said, when the message comes through the algorithm, it's like I gotta say something about this because this affects my family, and you supposed to just be okay with making my family go through this. I ain't down with that. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really do because I always watch his shows, but it be against mostly hip hop style stuff, but you see people that's not finna let the Roland Martins just because you connected to some entity like the Democrats and all that shit like that's supposed to have some kind of leveraging on my mentality or how I think or how I. It's not. It's just not. We're gonna be battling it out. Let's listen to the other brother for a minute.
They're spending money to protect their wealth and interests. So they've gotten together with the city government, and to me, it seems very clear they've gotten together with them for the purposes of putting together this practically a money laundering scheme. So they get cards in the hands of illegals, and then after that, they can shift the burden to the city government, who will just so conveniently find thousands, if not millions of dollars to be able to continue giving to the illegals. So you thought you were done with that in New York, Chicago. You thought that was all over, but it isn't. Direct cash payments, folks. Direct cash payments. Speaking of which, these are not the only ones. Oh, these are not the only ones at all. No, hang on to your hats, boys and girls. Why, this right here. Oh, folks, the hits just keep on coming. In New York, just here last month, they were announcing $50 million. So just in case you thought that the spigot had been turned off in New York, oh, hell no. You can listen to yourselves as Governor Ho Hochul wants to let you all know what she's got in mind. They're walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
Now tell me that's not some shit that if you wasn't looking at these kind of people, you wouldn't even fucking know that. I'm not from New York. I don't hear no news from New York unless it's through rap shit. And I'm like shocked. Okay, $50 million is going to be set aside for illegal immigrants. Obviously, that's taxpayer money. And it's going to be for their legal situations, which they got nothing but legal situations. Imagine how many legal situations they got. $50 million. So that means they're going to probably have to throw another 50 million on top because there's so many immigrants. But imagine your race. Imagine your culture. You might have a black culture like me, and it's people who go to jail, people who get arrested, people who go down for whatever crimes, and it ain't none of that. They need a motherfucking 100% of what they call them people, public defender, and they got to go in there and plead their step, and then they get arrested and they sit in jail 2-3 years. Now they just posted up, locked up, ain't no legal fee, ain't no money, family can't bring the money together for no bond, for nothing. She just said they're going to have $50 million set aside for anybody that's an immigrant that get locked up in a bad situation, and they could just hit that fund and say, yo, they talking about it's going to be this amount for my lawyer and this amount for my bond. And they say, okay, cool. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And they write it out. He out of there. But us, me, you, Democrats, Republicans, humans, Americans, nothing. Nothing happening. You get arrested, that's on you. Y'all better put that house up or you sit in jail. You just sit in jail like everybody else.
New York State. New York State is one of the most notorious, infamous state governments in the world, not in America, in the world, for depriving people, specifically black citizens, of their rights through the court system. Don't have lawyers. Khalif Browder, they hold people. New York State. Donald Trump ain't got a damn thing on New York State. New York State will lock you up for years with no charges. Ain't that right, Khalif Browder? They will keep you in jail with no charges. They can lock you up and hold you for however long they want to. They ain't charge you with nothing. You think somebody like that needs a lawyer? You think someone like that could use a lawyer? When Trump grabs the illegals, they're leaving. They're getting processed. New York State, not so much. New York State, they sit up here and they can grab you and arrest you, and that's the end of that. And you'll just sit there as long as they want to. Well, she hasn't stepped up to provide funds for folks to have lawyers and legal representation for that. But for illegals, all of a sudden they can pony up folks, tens of millions of dollars out of nowhere. I thought you folks had a budget crunch. I thought.
And that's the other part of it. We be expecting them to do something for us, and the first thing they say is that money ain't there. It's a budget situation. I'm sorry. Yo, hit the like button. Show me love. Y'all appreciate y'all rocking us. We were real deep in the conversation. Tim said, I never heard my grandmother call a nigga or a nigga. That's good, man. You good. You good. Your grandmother was good for that. Yo, but it's like crazy that how, you got all these people that they don't have the money for blacks, they don't have the money for none of the issues and stuff that people try to reach out for in New York, but they got 50 million sitting around to get an immigrant so that they can actually go to court. But technically, like you said, they're not even going to court. He grabbing them and sitting their ass straight out of America. So is this like an empty bag that she's talking about that you'll never really be able to be tapped in because you won't have no chance to be in America no way. As soon as they grab you, it's deportation. So, it could just be something like that. But the fact that they'll mention it, especially on the news like that, whereas a lot of people that's not getting that benefit or even support from the government, it's like we're crazy.
I thought that New York State had a budget crisis. I thought that New York State was low on funds. I thought that New York State needed to have some austerity. Every time they tell you that, and then all of a sudden they can pull out unlimited resources out of nowhere. Somebody in the chat room said the Central Park Five. We'd be sitting here naming names all damn year if we had to name everybody. They've never made it a priority to make sure any of us have had legal representation. Never made that a priority at all. Hey, Kathy Hochul, why don't we have some legal representation to deal with the hate crime bill and to deal with our reparations? How about that?
See, so you can see why it's important for black media because people are going to speak on things that they're not going to ever speak on any other media. They're not going to do it. Bro, say I'm back. I just cycled 45 minutes on a flat tire. I'm dead. See, you would have got that little BMX bike. The new one just dropped. Boy, you would have been back 30 minutes ago and wouldn't have been nothing but no tire because they got the reinflatable joints out here right now. You know what I mean? Uphill too? Yeah, okay, that'll do it for you. Yeah, but you can see why the messaging has to be out there. People are not gonna just be taking it on chin from other cultures, especially the Democrats and all that stuff. It's like, no, you got money for immigrants and the things of that nature. We all supposed to sit back and be with it. And then you got the people like the Roland Martins and stuff like that who will even cape for those kind of people and tell them that it's okay for us to be voting for them or understanding they plight because it's really about what we went through back in slavery. We should understand. It's like, man, what the fuck you talking about? We've been screaming for reparations way before they even opened the damn floodgates of the goddamn immigrants. So what, we supposed to just forget our own wants and our own needs and just act like somebody else that's supposed to piggyback over us? And as soon as they let the people in here, especially on the Democrats, they were all moving in our neighborhood selling shit right up the street. The buildings that you thought was just a vacant building gonna be a goddamn storefront, and you walking right past it like, God damn, or driving right past it, and then next thing you know, a whole bunch of different cultures pulling up in your neighborhood, eating and having a good ass time. Not ever finna deal with no damn drive-bys. Not ever finna deal with no nightclub shootouts. Nothing. They just gonna be in the hood chilling from this point forward. So Trump even scaring people back into because they got these what they call these sanctuary states or sanctuary cities. So people had to go to those towns and actually to actual lease stay because if you out in the open just trying to hustle or standing at Home Depot, they making it bad for you. They're making it not easy. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but it's the truth. Hey, we say saw a video right now where a guy gave an ice cream truck and on a 500 to pick up fries. He gave it someone he committed. Wallow said, "Don't support businesses just because they black." Wallow is a goofy, so we don't talk about clowns too tough. Wallow is a goofy. When you hear black dudes talking like that, they have white friends and they want to make sure that sometimes you might be in conversations with people and then they might say something that might be a little offbeat, but you let it ride because you really want to fuck with them. You want to be around them. So their conversations might be like, yeah, poverty people is like this, or broke people, or people don't really understand, whatever it is. And then you sitting back like, I kind of agree with that, but not really. But I ain't gonna say nothing because I still want to kind of be around them. So imagine somebody like a Wallow or whoever these guys be, and your friends is millionaires. They rich now, and they all this, and y'all have conversations and shit. And they be like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you would never say nothing like that. If they need more black people saying this and saying that, and he'd be like, I say that shit." They be like, "You wouldn't say nothing like that. That'll fuck you, man. I say it. Look, black people listen to me. I say," and then he go out there and do it. This is like almost like a bet, like a dare. You know what I'm saying? Because people, you can't believe shit like that because you don't believe it for other cultures. You're not going to go up to the Benihana's or the Asian store and then stand out there and say, "Yeah, I'm not fucking with y'all just because y'all Asian. I'm fucking with y'all because y'all got a business that I respect." You don't even talk like that. You don't even go up in no pizza spot and say, "Only reason why I'm here is because of the legacy y'all had in this pizzeria." I'm not messing with y'all because y'all don't know Italians. You're a business company. I'm not messing. You don't even talk like that. You support. You walk your ass in. You buy when you leave. You're not even in the store long enough. And if you even start talking to the people after you buy it, security gonna tell you at start, "Can you leave?" So you don't do that. So it's easier to talk against black people because we're gonna constantly support you. And your messaging is only for the people who listen to you. It's people who look at you as a complete goofy. What the fuck would a person be listening to somebody who did 20 something years in prison like that for? What could your message even be? But if it is for somebody, then that's a blessing. But it can't be for somebody like me. Like what the fuck would I do? What? You couldn't give me no insight in life, motherfucker. You just did 20 fucking years in a goddamn cage. How the fuck could you give me like life insight? That's oxymoronic. You supposed to been had your ass free before you can even talk to somebody about listening to you in some capacity. That's why it should always be positive. It should be positivity, not degradation. And if it's degradation, then spread that shit around. Talk to other coaches like that. Where's the video? Where's the information of other people you getting this this talking to? But until they do that, then they just scary niggas. They're not really saying nothing of no interest. They're just scared, man. You know what I'm saying? And you say, he right though, good business is not just off their color. I've been to black restaurants with good and shitty services, most bad, to be honest. But I've been there in other races the same. I go there, I'm treated right. And that's the same thing I would say. I've been to more bad white businesses because it's more white businesses. That's you see what I'm trying to say? Like it's more white businesses. So I'm gonna go into more white businesses that are bad, that are shitty, that the building is funky, or they stinking that bitch. I'm not gonna necessarily look at it and say all white people are like this. That's just a person's psychology. I'm not here to change that. If you believe your experience is an experience amongst the big of everybody, then that's just your life. Who the fuck am I here to change your damn mind? But if I know if I went inside this car lot or whatever, and they do wash cars in here, and it might not be the shit ain't working perfectly or whatever, or some of it is fucked up, or it ain't perfect, or the people didn't come and fix it right away. Then you go to another one across town or another area in your town, and it perfectly fit, it perfectly worked. I'm gonna sit up here and say all these white motherfuckers that own this car shop is shitty. All white people. Shit, look how nasty that one was, and look how clean this was. They can't even make the motherfuckers match. Nobody thinks like that. That's just a fucked up mentality, but you're free to do that. Nobody's going to stop your brain from thinking anything. But most people don't think that. And if you already have that psychology when you go into a black company, you just don't fuck with niggas. And that's okay too. But nobody black is finna start trying to wipe shit down and extra or be nice for or fixing you. Just like if you're going to a white company and it's fucked up or dirty or bummy, they're not finna run over there and shit and start fixing shit. If you don't worry about it, sir, I'm gonna make sure they're not finna do that. You just gonna have to stop going to that damn store. But you're not finna judge the entire race of people, or you're not finna judge the whole industry of fucking car company, car wash stores. So that shit not even real. But let's get back to the story.
You know, we could use some top-notch lawyers. We could use some top-notch lawyers in New York State to help litigate for all this money that the original biggest slave-owning state in America owes us. New York State is the OG biggest slave-owning state. We could sure as hell use 50 million for the lawyers to go over the records, track down everybody who owes, and to present you with the final bill. You know, that'd be pretty swanky. Wouldn't cost $50 million either. Wouldn't cost $50 million either. No, boys and girls, it's not done here just yet. From centralsquare.com in Illinois prioritizes 3.2 billion for immigrants, illegals, leaves working families behind. 3.2 billion. 3.2 billion, folks.
Now imagine that. That's where I'm from. 3.2 billion plus 50 million in Cali. Where is the broke immigrants? They gonna fuck around and get these immigrants robbed. They gonna fuck around and get these immigrants robbed. Cause you gotta think this is America. Motherfuckers got guns. Motherfuckers got guns at the crib. They got carry. They got illegal guns. You get some immigrants walking around this motherfucker with houses and cars all of a sudden. They sliding through. They don't even speak English. They just got shit. That's not gonna happen in America. Motherfucker gonna be running the fuck up on them fast. Like, oh, we got this nigga. If when you come to this hood, you gotta give me 40% of your check. They're gonna be treating them people. And in America, come on, this is the gangster country. Now you think this 50 million, 3.2 billion is gonna go to some humans and they just gonna walk around here like, whew, that was fucked up when we was walking across that thing to get here. They're not gonna let that happen. You're gonna come to America and motherfuckers gonna be like, if I catch one of y'all ass, we just gonna ride over there tonight. That's gonna be our Friday night. You catch an immigrant, if you see his ass, he got some money, it's home. So that'd be dumb to do that for them. And then think they just gonna be able to just melt in America and be just citizens normal. No, motherfuckers rob each other in America with no money, with no fucking connection to America, nothing. You just outside. Motherfuckers gotta figure out if you got some money. They don't even know if you got it. But we gonna automatically know that you got money and you just got it. And it was a movie I saw years ago. Well, it was not that many years ago, but Martin Scorsese made it. And it was about these Indians who, at that time, in like whatever the 40s, whatever the 20s, they had became, you know how America make the Indians go on a reservation? So they told these Indians, we come to take this spot, get y'all ass the fuck on. Y'all better be over here at this spot. This is where y'all be at. So the Indians that was in their location, they was like, what the fuck? Damn. So they grabbed their shit, they went over there and they posted up in a new spot. So when they get to the new spot, They like bet. All right, we set our shit up. They start digging around. Bing, bing, bing. Bow. They hit a motherfucking oil thing. Popped up. So since this they land and America forced them in this shit through the treaties or whatever, they own all this oil. And now they rich than a motherfucker. These Indians became the richest Indians ever in American history through American money. You know, because they Indians, they didn't have money and all that. But in the culture we were, our world, money is king. And that's what they had. So they have the oil, they had became so rich. So what white people did is they was like, oh, okay, y'all rich as hell. It's like 4 families, 10 families, whatever, having people. It's a Martin Scorsese movie right now. It's out. So what they did was they said, you know what? Let's get on the media. This shit that me and you be talking to each other on right now. They had just started. But at that time it was black and white and it was like reels and shit, you know, like really like not so digital, obviously. So they put on there, they said, meet the richest Indians in the world. Oh, I should find the trailer. Yeah, yeah. I should find that trailer. Meet the richest Indians in the world. And it was like a movie trush, a reel that was coming across the news. And so all the white people went down there and was like, what? It's the richest people in the world. And they went down there. And then they ended up killing off each one of them Indians. The people who was rich, they ended up killing off each one of them. No fight, no bullshit. Until they died. You know what I'm saying? So then eventually they was able to, obviously white people was able to get the money from, I forgot the name of that damn movie. That's it right here. Killers of the Flower Moon. That's why it's a weird ass name. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something you wouldn't even fucking remember. Killers of the Flower Moon. And Martin Scorsese, no, what's this other dude name? Y'all know dude right there, right? Fuck his name. DiCaprio. He played a main character in this joint. And I'm just going, yeah, okay, I gotta see. I'm gonna you Yamasi tribe. Okay, you Masi tribe. Well, I don't know if this the trailer. Yeah, this is like the trailer of the movie that I'm talking about. That they did this, and white people went down. My color. The Osage. They have the worst land possible, but they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it, black gold. All right, I can't play it all like that because they playing music, so you know I got to skip through it. Yeah, I got to skip through it so they don't get no. And that's the idea of the movie is that these people they were so rich that these folks had went down there and started killing them. You know what I'm saying? And then they were able to take over the wealth that they had. And it's so funny because, yeah, I would say, yeah, it was so funny because I was downtown Chicago and I was hustling my products and shit. And a white lady walked up to me. She said, "I'm from Oklahoma." And I'm like, "Oh damn!" She said, "You saw that Martin Scorsese movie, Killers of the Flower Moon?" And I was like, "I saw it." Yeah. She was like, "Yo." Well, she's a teacher. I'm a teacher, and I teach like 5th grade in Oklahoma. She said, "What people don't know is the same white people who came and wiped out those Indians and killed them all off. Those are the same white people who marched down the way and killed all those black people at the what that shit was called, the Oklahoma, Black Wall Street." She said those are the same white people. She said, "Go to the third eye say them Hollywood Indians." So I was like, damn, the lady was like, them the same white people. She said, a lot of people don't know that. She said, so we're having a big council down there now in Oklahoma where we're trying to get Martin Scorsese to come back and continue to tell the story because he stopped at the part when they had went down there and started killing the blacks. She said, I know this because I teach this in my class. She said that movie is just part of it. That's the first half. The second half was after they wiped out them Indians and got their money and they wealth. They went down there and started killing the black people up at Black Wall Street. Because I told you that they put this on the news. They was like, yo, the richest Indians ever. So obviously the next town over was the Black Wall Street. And it's the richest black folks ever. So they was like, well, shit, let's go over there and fuck that shit up too. Now, this is a white lady telling me this downtown. Like, I'm not from Oklahoma. I don't know. But she had broke all this down to me. And she's like, we trying to get Martin Scorsese to come back down there and see if he'll tell a story. Obviously, he never came back. That was probably about 4 or 5 years ago now. But I'm just giving that insight to say that shit be happening to cultures and then it gets swept under the rug. But sometimes you find people that can actually keep the message going. And that's why places like this matter, why we try to have a message out there because we don't want it to all be lost because of a Democratic run or whatever these runs that the people have. And they so big and so known and name wise. And the whole time we overlooked in our game, you know what I'm saying? So That's all I got on this show right now. Make sure y'all watch the top of this video. It's going to be the whole playlist right there. At the bottom, it might be the subscription. Well, it might all just be in the middle. You will have a chance to see for yourself. And I appreciate y'all checking out. Yeah, he was a good director. He still is, though. But he ain't better than me because he ain't no motherfucking dope-ass hood director and motherfucking got music out. He don't have no puss-ass Martin Scorsese. Fuck that goof-ass hunky. But anyway, my shit way better. You gonna check my movie out right now called Kill a Rapper. And Martin Scorsese would never fucking try to battle me on no filmmaker, nigga. Even though I definitely look up to him as a filmmaker, he definitely cold as hell. I think one of my favorite movies he did was with Ray Liotta. I forgot the name of that bitch. Man, I used to watch that shit. Goodfellas. I used to watch that shit. Gang of times. Hey, the next joint is coming out now. That's why I had to get off of here so I can go back and edit. And then I'm the main character, so I got to shoot a little more scenes. So it's coming soon, bro. It's coming to a hood near you. So just stay tuned. I do appreciate y'all walking all the way to the end. Definitely hit the Patreon so we can try to put some more stuff out there just for us to see. Really, only for the Patreon members. And we'll go from there. I'm gonna try to jump back on here later on tonight. Last night I crashed out. I went to sleep earlier. I didn't get a chance to jump out and do it again. You know, I'm old now, so I was in fucking bed before 7. What the fuck? No, don't turn old. So I'll hit y'all up soon, man. Thanks for watching.